The lost colony of Roanoke, the group that vanished without a trace. The year is 1590. A ship approaches Roanoke Island, its crew eager to reunite with the 117 men, women, and children they left behind 3 years earlier. But as they step ashore, a sense of unease fills the air. The settlement is silent. The wooden homes stand intact, but abandoned. Not destroyed, not burned, just eerily empty. No signs of struggle, no bodies, no life. The only clue? A single word carved into a wooden post, CROATOAN, and another carving, just 3 letters, CRO, etched into a nearby tree. It's one of the greatest mysteries in American history. A thriving colony vanished without a trace, leaving behind only speculation, fear, and centuries of unanswered questions. Did they integrate into a Native American tribe? Were they wiped out by Spanish forces? A deadly disease? A violent massacre? Or was their disappearance something much darker? Something unexplainable? Tonight, we investigate the eerie truth behind the lost colony of Roanoke. Scene 2. The colony's beginning, England's hope in the New World. To understand how Roanoke vanished, we need to understand why they were there in the first place. The late 1500s were a time of war. England and Spain were locked in a deadly battle for control of the seas, and Queen Elizabeth I wanted a permanent English foothold in the Americas. That's where Sir Walter Raleigh came in. In 1585, he financed an expedition to establish England's first colony on Roanoke Island, just off the coast of modern-day North Carolina. But this first attempt failed miserably. The settlers struggled to farm and ran low on food. They clashed with the Native American tribes, leading to open hostility. After a misunderstanding over a stolen cup, the English burned an entire Native American village, an action that may have sealed the fate of the next group of settlers. By 1586, the colony was abandoned, and survivors returned to England with Sir Francis Drake. But England wasn't giving up. In 1587, a second group of 117 settlers, families, not soldiers, arrived under the leadership of John White, a mapmaker and artist. This group included women and children, including White's own daughter and granddaughter, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the New World. Unlike the previous attempt, this wasn't just an exploratory mission. This was supposed to be a permanent settlement. But from the start, things went terribly wrong. Their relationship with local tribes was uneasy. Some were friendly, others saw the English as a threat. They struggled to grow crops, and their food supply dwindled fast. They were completely cut off from England. John White knew they wouldn't survive long without help, so he made a fateful decision. He would return to England for supplies. He never saw his colony again. Scene 3. The colony vanishes. White had planned to return in a few months. Instead, he was stuck in England for 3 years. Why? Because war broke out with Spain, and all English ships were seized to fight the Spanish Armada. When White finally returned to Roanoke in 1590, he was expecting a struggling but alive colony. Instead, he found an empty village. No bodies, no graves, no signs of a battle. The only clues were the words CROATOAN carved into a wooden post and CRO carved into a tree. White desperately wanted to investigate CROATOAN Island, believing the settlers had relocated there. But fate had other plans. A violent storm struck. forcing his ship to turn back to England. He never returned. No one has ever seen the Roanoke settlers again. Scene 4. Theories. What really happened? For centuries, historians and researchers have tried to piece together the mystery, but without clear evidence, all we have are theories. Theory 1. They integrated with the CROATOAN tribe. The most widely accepted theory is that the settlers joined the CROATOAN tribe, modern-day Hatteras Island. Some Native American tribes later reported that their ancestors had European features, blue eyes, fair skin, and spoke English words. Archaeologists have found Roanoke-era tools, rings, and weapons on CROATOAN Island. DNA testing on Native American tribes could one day prove a link to Roanoke's lost settlers. But if they relocated willingly, why wasn't there a clearer message? Theory 2. The Spanish attack. Did Spain destroy Roanoke? At the time, Spain was actively attacking English settlements. They had already wiped out French colonies in Florida. New Spanish records suggest they were looking for Roanoke in 1600. Spain had already destroyed a French settlement in Florida. Could they have done the same to Roanoke? However, there is no record of an attack, so if they did it, they covered it up completely. Theory 3. The Powhatan Massacre. Were they executed? Chief Powhatan, leader of the Powhatan Confederacy, later claimed his warriors killed the Roanoke settlers. He said he ordered their execution to prevent them from joining rival tribes, but no remains were ever found. Theory 4. Starvation and cannibalism. Some researchers believe the settlers simply starved. With no food and no aid, they may have resorted to cannibalism before perishing. Jamestown settlers just years later were found to have engaged in cannibalism to survive. But if they starved, where are their bodies? Theory 5. A supernatural or paranormal event? And then there are the more chilling theories. Some legends claim Roanoke was cursed by the native tribes, an area of dark spirits that consumed the settlers. Others believe they encountered something unnatural, something not of this world. The word CROATOAN has a bizarre history. It has appeared in unexplained disappearances for centuries, including on Amelia Earhart's journal and in the room where Edgar Allan Poe was last seen before his mysterious death. Coincidence? Or something far more sinister? Scene 5. Modern discoveries. Are we closer to the truth? Even today, the search for answers continues. Recent DNA testing on Native American tribes suggests possible European ancestry. New satellite scans show structures hidden beneath forests. Did Roanoke survivors build settlements inland? Newly discovered artifacts suggest some settlers may have split up, with one group heading south to live among the CROATOANs and another venturing inland. The mystery isn't over. Scientists are still working to find physical proof of what happened. Scene 6. Conclusion. The mystery that won't die. Over 400 years later, the fate of the lost colony of Roanoke remains unsolved. Did they integrate into native tribes? Were they wiped out? Or did something darker happen? One thing is certain. Roanoke remains one of the greatest historical mysteries of all time. Will we ever learn the truth? Let us know your theories in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another dive into the unknown, right here on Legends Unveiled.